Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really focusing on something crucial for speaking English well, pronunciation.
That's right.
You might be listening and thinking, okay, yeah, how can I make my English sound, clearer, more natural?
Uh-huh. And that's exactly what we're digging into.
So what's our mission here?
Well, basically, we want to pull out the key insights, the really practical tips from the material we've looked at to help you actually enhance your pronunciation.
Okay.
It's not really about chasing some kind of perfect accent, right? It's more about making sure people understand you.
Yeah, getting your message across.
Exactly. And boosting your confidence when you talk,
Mm-hmm.
making, a better connection.
It really does make such a difference. I mean, think about those times you know what you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe the words just feel a bit, I don't know, clunky. Or you're just not quite sure how a word should sound.
Yeah. That can really hold you back, can it?
Definitely.
And it's amazing sometimes how just a tiny slip in pronunciation can, completely change what someone thinks you said.
Oh, totally. It shows how important getting those sounds right really is.
It really does.
There was this one example, it really made me chuckle, actually. The difference between saying, I'm a great cook,
Right.
and I'm a gay crook.
Yeah. It sounds so similar, but obviously the meaning is miles apart.
It just perfectly highlights why accuracy matters,
Yeah.
doesn't it? So you're actually understood.
It really does. And it's not just, avoiding those kinds of, well, funny misunderstandings.
Yeah.
When your pronunciation is good or, clearer, it genuinely gives you a confidence boost.
Oh, absolutely.
Knowing you can say things clearly makes you way more likely to just jump into a conversation instead of maybe hanging back.
I completely agree. There's a massive difference in how you feel when you trust your speech.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't forget, those first impressions when you start talking, they count.
They really do.
Clear pronunciation definitely helps leave a positive mark.
So, okay, we've established why focusing on pronunciation is, well, pretty vital. Now, maybe we should get into some of the common spots where learners often find it a bit tricky.
Good idea. Because let's face it, English pronunciation isn't always straightforward.
Not at all.
Our sources pointed out sort of three main areas that often trip people up. First one, vowel sounds.
Ah, yes. That's a big one. Because English has, well, a lot of vowel sounds.
Right.
And chances are your own language might not have all of them, or they might be slightly different.
So you might not even hear the difference at first.
Exactly. In some languages, the vowels are maybe more distinct, fewer variations, but in English, those subtle vowel shifts can change the whole word. That's key.
Okay, makes sense. And then there are consonant clusters.
Yeah.
Those clumps of consonants all squished together. Like in, what was the example? Strengths.
Strengths, yeah, that's a classic. Strengths. That requires some serious mouth gymnastics if you're not used to it.
It's like a tongue workout.
It really does. It's a different kind of mouth coordination, sequencing those consonants quickly. It can feel really alien depending on your first language.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is how those clusters can sometimes even change the vowel sounds near them.
No, that adds another layer.
It does. And the third common challenge area is word stress and intonation.
Okay, this is something maybe people don't always consciously think about, but it's huge.
Absolutely crucial.
It's not just getting the individual sounds right, is it? It's about which part of the word you emphasize, the stress.
Right, the stressed syllable.
And also the sort of music of the language, the ups and downs, intonation.
Exactly, intonation. If you stress the wrong syllable, even if the sounds are perfect, it can sound like a different word sometimes.
Like present versus present.
Perfect example, same sounds, different stress, different meaning. A gift versus giving something?
Got it.
Intonation. Well, that carries so much meaning beyond the words themselves. Emotion, intent, questions versus statements.
Right. So much is conveyed there. Okay, so we know why it's important. We know some hurdles. What about the practical stuff? What can people actually do?
Good question. Let's get into the tips. Our material had some really useful ones. The first is about listening, active listening.
Okay, active listening.
Yeah.
So not just having the radio on in the background.
Precisely. It means really tuning your ear in. Pay attention to how native speakers actually say things.
What specifically should people listen for?
Well, obviously the individual sounds, but also the rhythm, how words flow together, the pauses, the intonation patterns we just mentioned, podcasts, audiobooks, movies, TV shows. They're all great for this kind of immersion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about absorbing that That melody you mentioned, how sounds link up where the emphasis falls naturally.
Exactly. Makes your own speech sound much more natural over time.
Yeah.
Okay, next tip. This one's kind of fun. Tongue twisters.
Tongue twister, like Peter Piper, pick the peck.
Well, maybe not that one unless you really want a challenge. But yes, things like that. They might seem silly.
A bit childish, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. But they're actually brilliant for improving your articulation, getting your mouth and tongue to be more precise.
Makes you focus, I guess.
Totally. You have to concentrate on making those specific movements needed for tricky sounds.
The example in the source was, she sells seashells by the seashore.
That's the one. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah, it definitely works those speech muscles.
It really does. And it's a low-pressure way to identify which sounds or sound combos you find tough.
Okay, good one. What's next?
The next one sounds maybe a bit more technical, but it's incredibly helpful, using phonetic spelling.
Phonetic spelling, right. Like the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet.
Exactly that, the IPA. For anyone listening who isn't familiar, it's basically a set of symbols where each symbol represents one specific sound.
Like a code for pronunciation.
That's a great way to put it. A pronunciation code. It might look a bit daunting at first.
Yeah, all those weird symbols in the dictionary.
Right, but learning even just the key symbols for English sounds can be a game changer.
How so?
Because it lets you look up the exact pronunciation of a word. You're not just guessing based on the spelling anymore.
Which, let's be honest, is often totally misleading in English.
Oh, absolutely. Spelling is notoriously inconsistent. The IPA cuts through that.
Okay, so that's a powerful tool. What's the last main tip?
The final one for now is record yourself speaking.
Ooh, the dreaded listen to yourself task.
Yes, it can feel a bit awkward hearing your own voice played back.
Definitely takes some getting used to.
But it is so valuable for self-assessment. When you listen back, you often notice things you weren't aware of while speaking.
Like maybe you thought you were making a certain sound, but it comes out differently.
Exactly. Or you hear hesitation, or maybe your intonation isn't quite right. It lets you pinpoint those specific areas that need work.
It's like holding up a mirror to your speech.
Precisely. Helps you bridge the gap between what you think you sound like and what you actually sound like.
Okay, those are some really solid, actionable tips.
Yeah, definitely things people can start doing right away.
And the sources also mention resources people can use to help with all this.
Oh yes, lots of tools available now. One big category is mobile apps.
Right, like Duolingo or Babbel, those kinds of things.
Exactly. Many language learning apps have sections specifically for pronunciation practice.
With, like, voice recognition sometimes.
Yeah, often using visuals, audio examples, sometimes even feedback on your attempts. They're super convenient.
Good for practice on the go. What else?
Then you've got online courses.
Okay, more structured learning.
Right. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or specialized language sites often have courses just on English pronunciation.
Led by teachers, presumably?
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
Experienced instructors who can guide you through the complexities, maybe offer feedback. Good if you want a deeper dive.
Makes sense. And the third resource area?
Can't forget YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube's got everything.
It's a goldmine for language learners. So many channels focus specifically on pronunciation.
What kind of stuff do they have?
You can find videos that break down specific sounds, often with close-ups showing exactly how to move your mouth and tongue. Really visual.
That sounds super helpful, actually, seeing it done.
It really is. So whether you like apps, structured courses, or visual learning on YouTube, there's something out there to match your style.
Okay, fantastic. So people are listening, maybe practicing tongue twisters, checking out apps.
Yeah.
But how do they actually, use this in real life?
Great question. Practice needs application. It can't just stay theoretical.
So, beyond the exercises.
Exactly. One suggestion was role-playing conversations.
Okay. Like pretending?
Yeah. Imagine you're in a specific situation, ordering coffee, asking for directions, a job interview maybe.
Or you just practice the dialogue out loud?
You practice saying what you'd need to say, focusing on clear pronunciation in that context. It's low-stakes practice.
You could do it with a friend or tutor too, I suppose. Get feedback?
Absolutely. That makes it even better. Another really valuable thing is joining language exchange groups.
Where you meet other learners.
Yes. Connect with people learning English, and maybe native English speakers learning your language. Tandem partners, conversation clubs.
Right, so you get real conversation practice.
Exactly. You get used to speaking with different people, different accents maybe. It makes it real.
And the focus isn't just on pronunciation then, it's just communicating.
Right. Which takes some pressure off, actually. You're just talking, and the pronunciation practice happens naturally as part of that. It builds confidence in a real setting.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So kind of wrapping things up a bit, we've really seen how vital pronunciation is.
For clarity, confidence, making that connection.
We've talked about the tricky bits, vowels, consonant clusters, stress, intonation.
The common hurdles.
And we got those practical tips. Active listening.
Tongue twisters.
Maybe looking into phonetic spell.
Recording yourself.
Plus, knowing about resources like apps, courses, YouTube.
Yeah.
And finally, actually using it through role play or language exchange.
It all feeds into it. Ultimately, pronunciation is just a massive piece of the fluency puzzle in English.
It's not just grammar and vocab.
Not at all. It's about making sure your ideas actually land clearly and effectively.
So, as everyone's processing all this, maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Okay.
Thinking about everything we've discussed, the tips, the resources, what's maybe one specific sound or perhaps word stress, or maybe even intonation.
Yeah.
Just one aspect of your own English pronunciation you feel inspired to work on now.
Good question to ponder.
And then thinking ahead, how might getting just that one area a bit clearer, how might that change your next conversation? Even just a small one.
Yeah, how would that impact things for you? It's all about that continuous journey, isn't it? Taking those steps, building that clarity and confidence bit by bit.